right. Here we are back again. Jim's Corner. Today's we've got a special PNGZCast live, number 375. We're going to title this Jim's Corner. Now he's got a topic tonight. We're going to discuss a couple of P.O.Is. If you're with us, by the way, welcome, LinkedIn, YouTube. Today we're doing LinkedIn. Today we are broadcasting via LinkedIn, YouTube, and I think we're doing Twitch. All right, so welcome. Guest, you're welcome to join us in the comments. I think the only way that you can really comment would be through YouTube and Twitch. So you're welcome to join us. Post your question, post your thought, post your challenge. Critique us, if you will. Jim's Corner, again, PNGZcast, live number 375. This is episode number 375. So, Jim, all the way from Tucson, Santos here. What was that about? All the way from Stockton, California. So, welcome. Let me turn down the sounds just a tiny bit. And go ahead, Jim. We've got
just good evening. Yeah, so today I'd like to go ahead and talk about taking ownership of our lives, taking responsibility. And I was thinking that the only way to a happy life, to a life of peace, is through taking full responsibility. That's the topic that I'd like to talk about today, Santos. What it means to take responsibility or ownership, and how that leads to a happier, more fulfilling life.
All right. How that will lead us into a more thoughtful, we're going to be provoking thought here, I guess. We're going to be challenging. Jim is going to be challenging us. Jim is going to be challenging you. Welcome, guest. I see you there. You're coming on and going off. Stay with us. There's a reason why you stumbled across the podcast. All right, I've got a proverb. And we're going to be throwing in some videos, some short clips in here. All right, just a few short clips. We're going to throw them in there and give you guys a chance to think. And again, challenge us, ask some questions, get involved, and let's get better. I believe that's why we're here. Let's get better. And we're gonna give Jim here. Jim's gonna bring us the first POI, point of interest. Before we do, let me get into. By the way, it's windy, super windy out here. It is so windy out here. It's unbelievable windy. Anyways, in California, it hasn't been this windy in a while. All right, 1 John 4:16. We're gonna read to the first proverb. I'm excited to be here. I'm challenged. B.F.L. Right? B.F.L. What's B.F.L? The big fat what? B.F.L. It's a big fat B.F.L. 1 John 4. Did I get it? Let me get it in here. Come on, Santos. If any man see his brother, wait a minute. No, this is not the right one. Santos, you got to go to 4:16, brother. All right. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world. In the day of judgment. Boy, if the day of judgment isn't today, I don't know when it is. But we're facing challenge on top of challenge on top of challenge. Once again, PNGZcast live. We're going to give Jim the floor here. Jim, your first point of interest. By the way, that was a great verse. Welcome. Go ahead, Jim. Share.
Okay, yeah.
It says good evening, by the way. Are we live?
We're live.
We're live. We're live, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're live. By the way, anyone can share the broadcast. You can share the broadcast. to support the mission. Support the mission. Support. Go ahead, Jim.
Yes, I mean, some people talk about control. Some people say we don't have control. Some people say God has the control. You know, all I have to go ahead and say is that we have the ability to take control of our lives if it's out of control, whether it be in gambling, addictions, anxiety, depression. We have the ability to go and take control. We have the power. You can go and say that power is put through us through God. A lot of people go and say that. And, with that idea, accepting responsibility and taking ownership for your life is the first step towards moving in a better direction. And what do I mean by taking ownership? Just think about like a business owner. I mean, you own a business, you have the power, right? As a business owner, you have the power of controlling your business, the operations, who works for you, what you sell, the prices, where you sell, how you advertise, all those kinds of things. You have the power, you have ownership over that. And just think about your life as like a business, really. Why would you want to hang on to bad stuff? Why would you want to go ahead and hang on to employees who steal from you? Why would you want to go and hang on to a business plan that's making you lose money instead of make money? Why hang on to these things? We were talking about this before, hanging on to poisonous thoughts, poisonous ideas, poisonous mindsets. By taking ownership of how we choose to think, that can go ahead and move us in a better direction. And yeah, we all have a choice. We have a choice. We have a choice to create things, create thoughts, create ideas. You see, we have a choice. And if we go ahead and understand that kind of power, we can go and let go of a lot of the poisons that are in our life. Think about anxiety. Why do I have to go ahead and continue thinking a certain way that puts me in a very uncomfortable place? Why do I need to go ahead and believe that the world is going to be ending? If I don't take care of all these ideas, these manufactured ideas and thoughts that my imagination creates. Why do I put myself down after I stumble? Why do I want to have such poor self-worth after making certain actions? Why do I go and put myself down? Self-worth is a big thing. How do we see ourselves? And that's a choice, right? And that's taking responsibility, really. Seeing ourselves as capable, not incapable, right? And that's taking responsibility right there, taking responsibility for our lives. So that's the topic that I want to go ahead and describe in today. It's all about ownership. And as owners, we have the power. We have power. We have the power of seeing, divine things in life. In every single situation, we have the power to go and say, you know what? Right over there, that's not divine. I don't want to go ahead and see stuff like the casino, right? Right? I don't see I don't see God there. I don't see God there. But maybe you went ahead and went to the casino and lost a lot of money, maybe. Maybe you can go and see God there in that he's talking to you and saying, there's a better life for you. There's a better life, beyond this nonsense. This pain that you're feeling, right? This pain, maybe you can go ahead and take joy. You can rejoice in the fact that you're getting this pain. It's a message from God saying, you know what? It's time to change. It's time to change. I love you so much that I'm going to go ahead and put you through this feeling so that you can go ahead and start changing for the betterment of you. Where do we see everything? What do we see in every single situation? Do we see it as something that is self-deprecating? that's constantly putting us down? Or can we go ahead and pull from our imagination a benefit, some type of value from every situation?
Let me do this, because there's a lot. Here I see people are coming on. We've got a really short clip. We're going to get back to Jim's thought here, but there's somebody that I wanted to visit for about 2 minutes or so, probably about 2 minutes. So it's good to see you guys, Eric, Race, Akinduro. We're in Jim's corner today here. He's got some thoughts he's wanting to share. I'm asking you for questions. The best thing that you can do is ask questions. If you've got something going on in your life, I know sometimes it's about asking questions and asking lots of questions. So that's what I'm inviting you here on this podcast. Believe something good will be with you tonight on this podcast. Believe that you will walk away with something good tonight from this podcast. Believe with me, it'll happen somehow, some way. So that's what I ask of you, a Kinduro, a Canola, Eric. So let me play a short clip here. And this is for those. Oops. I got rid of. How did I get rid of? There we go. Let me see. Just take a listen to this. This is just a little bit of a 1-2 minute break. All right. That's all it is.
I quit gambling. I know I shouldn't have done that. I quit gambling and everything went wrong in my life. So I quit gambling. I was gambling all the time at this one casino. And I made some money. I lost some money. Anyway, I lost like 15 grand. Went back the next day and I won like 20 grand. And I'm up. And I was leaving and I saw on the wall, ban yourself, self-ban. And I thought, you know what? Everyone bans themselves from the casino when they've lost lots of money. I'm going to ban myself when I just won a bunch of money. I'm going to beat the casino. I'm going to win the house. So I went there to the manager, go, I want to ban myself, please. He was like, really? Because he's never seen someone ban themselves after a big win. I was like, yeah, I want to ban myself. He goes, you just made money. You're going to come back. He's like, nope. That's what you want. That's what I'm going to do. No thanks. Ban me. Fill out the paperwork. Ban myself from my favorite casino in London. The Sportsman, it was called. Ban myself with my winnings. Thought I was the G. Went home with all my money. I quit gambling now. I quit a winner. The only man to beat the casino.
I think he became the casino by creating casinos.
I don't know if he created any casinos or anything like that, but I really liked that little speech. And again, it ties in with what you're saying, Jim. It ties in with responsibility. It ties in with ownership. It ties in with creatorship. You got creative, right? I talked about if you're going to ban yourself from the casino, don't, you can take the man out of the casino, but when you take the casino out of the man, that's a true ban right there. So go ahead and get back to your topic. Again, if you have a question, feel free. Time is going by very quickly here, folks. We got another little video I'm going to play in a few more minutes. Another short video. I believe you'll enjoy that. Listen, this is the place to be. If you're a quitter, and you want to crush that desire, you want to step all over the B.F.L. And if you don't know what the B.F.L is, ask me. But if you want to step all over the B.F.L, this is number one community, numero uno. Is there another way to say numero uno? Maybe in Japanese? Or there you go. All right. Go ahead, Jim. And let me see. Go ahead. Get back. I'm keeping an eye on your questions, folks. I'm keeping an eye. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, we talk about Erica's talking about toxic people everywhere. We're talking about poor self-worth, feeling inferior. I think the greatest control that we can go ahead and have in defeating our demons, whether it be gambling, or any other kind of addiction, is taking control of our thoughts. How do we go and take control of our thoughts? We have to realize that there are certain paths that we can go and take, right? And for me, I'm thinking, it's like, where do we see God? Where do we see God, in certain thoughts? Do I see God in this thought, or do I see God in that thought? If you think about yourself, your self-worth, feeling inferior, it's like, if you think about that, it's like God made you, in his image. That's what the Bible says, right? In his image. You're not a mistake. You're here for a purpose. You do good things, great things, fantastic things. You can go ahead and create so much. And if you see that perspective, if you go ahead and latch on to that thought, right? Now you can go ahead and start making some choices and decisions and better feelings. I'm thinking about like the anxiety that I felt. Tomorrow, a new week, and I'm thinking, it's like, what am I going to go and create? My lesson plans. And I'm thinking my lesson plans for these kids. I look at other teachers' lesson plans, and it's like, what the heck am I making? My stuff is inferior to all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, after it all said and done, it's like, why are you putting yourself through all this anxiety? Why are you, creating all these awful things in your mind? These horrible things. My imagination is like, look, you're going to do your best. You're going to go ahead and, set up something, right? That's works. That's in line with everything. You just do your best. You don't have to be like everyone else. Don't try to go and be like everyone else. Compare, right? Do the best you can. And it's amazing how much that anxiety just got released from me. No more fear, no more worry. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go and do this, do my best. That's the way it is. I'll get better over time. I'm going to go ahead and focus on helping people, helping the students, in the best way I can. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not so much trying to tie myself to other people. Yeah. And, it's freeing, I think if we can go ahead and have power over thoughts that are more divine, that are more positive, it frees us. It frees us from all that poison. It allows us to let go of so much negativity. I mean, let's go and think about, the problem gambler, right? The problem gambler goes to the casino, loses a bunch of money, right? Right? Feels horrible. Okay. Now, there's two ways that you can go and think about yourself, really, right? You can go ahead and think, I'm just an awful person. I wish I was dead. I wish God would just kill me. I'm worthless, right? Or you can go ahead and say, you know what? I'm not dead. I'm learning. I'm finding out that this is not the right way. And I'm realizing every time I step foot on this place, this is not the right way, right? Praying and meditating, I believe, is a focus on the good, and it will direct you to the place where you need to go. But it's a conscious effort, it's a conscious effort, really. We have to be conscientious every moment of where our thoughts are. Wherever you go, what's going through our minds when we're interacting with things at work, with family, with coworkers, with people, what's going through our thoughts, our minds, and where is that pulling us? Where is that pulling us? So taking control of our thoughts, taking full responsibility. I am responsible for my thoughts, and I have the power. I have the power in me to go ahead and move in the right direction. The right direction.
Let me interrupt you for just a moment. I want to ask something here. Mr. Kevin, Blaze Journey, Raymond, there's quite a few people on the live right now, but there's only a few here in the chat. I'm curious as to how do you guys sense about what it is that we're sharing tonight here on this podcast. Is this important for you guys? Is this important what we're sharing, or I'm just looking for questions here. You know, I know sometimes some of the most difficult lessons are probably going to be some of the most boring lessons in life. Yet they must be taken in somehow, some way. We stumbled onto this PNGZCast episode number 3. What did I say? Number 372?
375.
375. I'm just curious. I'm curious, folks. I'm curious. Maybe I'm too inquisitive, but I'm just curious to see what you guys see on the other side. How do you see what's going on? How do you see what's going on? In fact, thank you for asking about the YouTube channel. You asked Jim also about his YouTube channel. A lot of changes, many changes. Suppression, abandonment. We're making some changes. Here we are making some changes. My goal again is to support quitters. That's my goal. Support quitters and hopefully help them, like Jim, get a little bit better perspective going forward. Kevin says, good broadcast. Any questions, folks? I'm looking for questions. By the way, we'll get back to Jim. Raymond, I'm 46 days with no gambling. Congratulations on your continued progress, my friend. Maybe we can call you partner with us by now, Raymond. Partner. That's what partnering is all about. Partnering is all about living and getting into the PNGZ. Like Tate said earlier, if you were here and you watched, he made up his mind. He said, I'm gonna ban myself. I'm gonna win over the casino. First guy that I've ever heard say that. Go ahead, Jim. Back to your thoughts. And
when we're talking about responsibility, taking full responsibility, I think that we have a responsibility to definitely forgive ourselves. I believe that everyone on this channel, including myself, I was told it to myself, we're the hardest person, the hardest person on ourselves. We criticize ourselves the most. We are the worst person in our lives based upon the things that we perceive, that we think, who we are, what we do, our behaviors and actions. We have a responsibility to go and forgive ourselves and say, you know what? It's okay. It's okay that you messed up. It's okay. It's all right. You have an ability to go ahead and learn from that mistake that you made, and you can go and move forward. You just hang on to this unforgiveness of self. You're just hanging on to poison. And that's a choice right there, right? Does that choice show God? Does that go ahead and show any kind of divinity about holding on to that self-hatred, that low self-worth? Doesn't do you any good. Let it go, right? Let that poison go. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive others, Eric talks about, toxic people everywhere, Forgive those people, Forgive those people. Let them go, and say, you know what? Thank you very much. You can go and say, thank you very much for letting me see this kind of behavior so I can go and know how to go ahead and act. How can I go ahead and be better? I see that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like this. This is the kind of person that I want to be. This is the light that I'm going to be shining,
Mm-hmm.
So forgiveness, I think that's a responsibility that everyone has for themselves, self-forgiveness.
All right. So Jim's been Jim's been sharing some POI. Anybody in here know what a POI is? I'm just curious to see if anybody's even listening. What's a POI? POI. Let me put it in here. Let me see. folks, we got to be learning. I really believe that we need to challenge each other, because if we're not, I think we may be wasting our time. And one thing about me is I don't want to waste your time, because your time's valuable. Oh, point of interest. There we go. Thank you. I put POI and YouTube rejected my comment. Let me see if I can't post it. It says I put POI and YouTube rejected your comment. This is usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. So anyhow, we make mistakes. Point of interest. There you go, Mr. Carnivore. Welcome, Laura. Welcome. So I'm even getting distracted myself. But anyways, Jim, we're kind of in Jim's corner here. He's sharing some thoughts, some deep thoughts about change and taking responsibility and more, right? We are still talking about B.F.L. Anybody in here know what B.F.L stands for? B.F.L. What about F.T.? What about S.T.? What about SOSM? Let me see. SOSMC. I know I'm going too fast. But anyway, those are just synonyms. Synonyms for the Soldiers of Self-Mastery community. We are number one. I want the whole world to know that. Number one. If you want to regain yourself, get your composure, build your confidence back, and start looking for a greater vision, nobody's perfect. Nobody will be perfect. You cannot practice to be perfect. You can only practice to be better. This is numero uno community for you. And if you're stumbling on here, you're stumbling onto the greatest thing. We're only going to be here for another 15, 20 minutes. So stay with me. I got another short video coming up. We're in Jim's corner, Jim's point of interests. We had the Proverb. And again, this is number 3, episode number 375. So I hope you're with us, man. I hope you're learning. I hope you're even thinking, man, what kind of a question could I ask Santos or Jim? What kind of a question, man? I gotta ask these guys something, man. I gotta pound them and see what I can get out of these guys, man. What can I get out of the community that hour, right? What result? Jim, we want results. But they're not easy to come by, man. They're not. So yeah. Let me get back to Jim here in a minute. Let me get back to you. So if you're here, make sure that you're subscribed. By the way, you can share this live. You can share this. You can share this. Subscribe or Soldier Scribe. We're here live on Wednesdays and Sundays. Yes, we're putting in more of the short videos, lesser of the longer videos during the week. The shorter videos, I want to do more subliminal stuff. Listen to this. Santos, are you trying to hypnotize people? Yeah. If you watch my shorts, I'm hypnotizing you so that you can recognize who you are and what you can come out of and how you can crush that desire. So these short 30, 20-second subliminal videos are there to hit you right in the subconscious to get you thinking. Even if all you can watch one of those videos, and if all you can say is, I can, I will, I do, I am. I can, I will, I do, I am. If you can get that little concept rolling around in your head, that machinery, man, I'm telling you, it begins like salsa dancing, Russian dancing, country, even Japanese type of dancing or whatever it is that you need. Anyways, I got a little distracted there. So go ahead, Jim. But ask your question. So support the mission is what I'm trying to say. Support the mission. Hey, support the mission. We're here for you. If you can drop 10 cents, if you can drop $10, or how about $10,000? That would be cool. Man, I got a lot of work to do on the website. A lot of work. A lot of redo work. I thought people were helping me. Anyhow, I was gambling and I had to make a decision with that area. I was gambling actually with the website and the books and the audio, the new little red book. I've been gambling in many different ways. I just didn't know it. I didn't know it. Now I know it. Just because I stopped gambling in a casino, you think that you're going to stop gambling? No, you gamble, but you become more aware, right? PNGZ, permanent no gambling zone mindset makes you more aware. It's a lifestyle. It's a marathon. It's a diet. It's optimization of your neurological pathways up here, right? That's a fancy word. I learned that from reading probably the only thing I learned from the medical manual. Anyhow, go ahead, Jim. Crushing the desire, bro. It says number one.
Yeah, getting back to forgiveness, that can go ahead and lead to the idea of forgiving all the external things like casinos. Could you imagine forgiving the casinos, those who go ahead and put you into such a miserable state? What if you practice forgiving those that you always believed hurt you? Because if you really think about it, you're letting go of poison, right? Negative, hateful thoughts that you latch onto that kind of bring you down, that kind of tie you down. It seems like forgiveness allows you to go ahead and let go, right? Let go of the toxicity, right? And if you can go and practice that amongst the coworkers that give you a hard time, the people in your life, your family members, the people on the streets, right? Your political opposition, forgiving, you let that go. If you practice that kind of stuff, you might be able to go ahead and forgive yourself, because we're not, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. I was listening to the story of the prodigal son, right? The father, right? What did the father do when that son came back? Didn't scorn the kid, didn't scorn the son, accepted the child back, with open arms, right? Wouldn't that be great if we can go ahead and do that to ourselves so that we can go ahead and have a wonderful new life, a new beginning, right? So when we have these instances where things bring us stress or anxiety, negative self-talk, we can go ahead and take a moment and close our eyes and pray, meditate, pray a little bit, and seek better thoughts, in those instances. What's the better direction to go and take my thoughts? What's the better direction? What's the best direction? Where can I go and see God? I have choices of thoughts. Where do I want to go? Oftentimes we get, we're just conditioned to go ahead and bring up the hate, bring up the anger, bring up the anxiety and the stress.
Conditioning, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Close your eyes, get prayer, right? And meditate a little bit, just for a few moments. Take a breath, and say, what's the best thought that I can go and have? What's the best mindset that I can have? What's the best? What's the best? And just a few moments. It does take a little bit of time. It does take, a moment, right? It does take a moment. And we're so conditioned to go ahead and just react, right? Let's go ahead and try responding, right? Let's try responding in the best way we can.
All right, Jim, we're going to get back to responding, trying to respond in the best way that we can, making sure that we're. So again, Jim's talking about responsibility. He's talking about ownership. He's talking about creatorship. He's talking about choices. We have choices. We have the ability to choose. So I hope you guys are learning something here, guys and gals, cowboys and cowgirls. Ken Mizrahi, I got just a little bit of an interruption. We're going to play a short video. It's a cartoon video. Somebody here might be interested in this little clip that I'm about to play. And then we've got one little short clip at the end. That's going to be my call to action. Just a little short. So we're going to do some, mix it up a little bit. Today's Jim's Corner. If you were here earlier, you would have known that Jim is bringing across, sharing, and the POI, the points of interest, I guess, if you will. But you guys are not challenging. You're not challenging enough. I'm telling you, you got to, in order to squeeze the lemon, to squeeze the orange, or you got to squeeze the juice out of it. So we got to challenge. We got to, how can we take some of this away and apply it, make it our own? And how can I do this? What could we change and be better? What could I be better with? What could Jim be better with? Challenge us. Come on, folks. All right, let me get in here. Laura, Mark, Ken. Boy, we've got quite an audience here. Mr. Keevan, Barry Robb. Barry Robb doesn't like Tate. A lot of people don't like Tate. But that one statement that he made about the casino was very important for me to hear. I know we all have, you know what? We all have things in our lives that we'd rather not talk about, or we'd rather not let others know. There are some things, but there are some good. There is some good in all of us, a little bit. In some of us, there's just a little bit. Maybe it's just a statement, right? Anyhow, so thank you for sharing that, Raymond, and who else was with us? Blaze Journey, Akinduro, and Eric Race. Look at Eric was here with us earlier. All right, let me get into this short clip that we have that I'm going to play here. If I can do this. There we go. All right. Did I get this right here?
Do you need some help to quit? QuitGamble.com is a unique online platform created to help people stop gambling. QuitGamble.com is based on two key principles. 1. We believe the cause of addiction is pain. Gambling, drugs, and alcohol are just means to escape the pain. It's the urge to avoid pain we get addicted to. Number 2. We believe a happy person experiences less pain and is therefore more resistant to become addicted to anything. On QuitGamble.com, our focus is to help you ease the pain. Step by step, you'll get more relaxed, less stressed, and begin to regain control of your life again. Gradually, you'll see the urge to gamble disappear. Take the happiness test today. It'll not show if you're addicted to gambling. Instead, it'll show how we can help you. The platform is built on positive thinking, encouragement, unity, and personal development. We'll challenge you to challenge yourself. Begin your journey today and discover features like getting a buddy, the live chat, and hundreds of exercises, videos, and challenges. Start with the happiness test. Welcome to QuitGamble.com.
All right, QuitGamble.com. Now, again, this is just something that I caught onto. I thought it was pretty neat. It kind of reminds me of this community a little bit of sorts, just a little tiny bit. But anyways, there's another program out there. I believe we're number one. Am I biased? Yeah, I'm biased. It's because I know this. I know. Quit Gamble. I don't know. There might be some people in there that, again, Alcoholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, you can get into things with people, and next you realize, this person's not a real, he's still kind of gambling on the side, getting lottery tickets and this. And so anyways, follow the leader. You want to follow a good leader. Soldiers of Self-Mastery Community is number one. Jim, how do you say that again in Japanese?
Well, Ichiban, number one. Ichiban.
There we go, Ichiban. All right, folks, thank you. So we've got a short one coming up later on, a very short one, call to action. I'm going to do my best to kind of mix it up a little bit. Who knows? Maybe we'll throw in some humor and some other things into this. Some humor. All right, now let's in all honesty. Laura says, "Can you make peace with a casino?" Well, it's since it's Jim's corner. Let me see. We're gonna let Jim share that what he thinks about that here. Can you do that?
Yeah, I mean, going back to responsibility, everyone has events happen in their lives, right? Unique events, and sometimes we're not ready for those events. Stuff happens, right? And once we start taking responsibility of how we respond to those events, now we can go ahead and start mastering the game, okay? Because the game is Now, how do we respond to life? How are we going to be responding? I take a perspective. I'm trying to develop a perspective. I'm working on it, right? How do I go ahead and respond in the best way? How do I respond? How do I see myself? Do I respond with self-hatred? Do I respond with lots of anxiety? Right? You know, events, all sorts of events, good events, bad events, happen to us. We're still alive. So I think we have more good things happening to us than bad things, if you think about it. I mean, Laura talks about, can you make peace with the casino, right? You can just go ahead and think of the casino like weeds, or bugs, I don't have an emotional attachment to bugs or weeds. I know that they're pests, they can go ahead and cause problems. I got to go ahead and know how to deal with them, right? I got to know how to deal with them, right? So I'm not going to go ahead and create this emotional, poison, toxic mindset. I'm just going to say, here's the situation. What's the best way of handling this? Right. So, I mean, in a way, you can go ahead and make peace by just letting go of that emotional, like negative, toxic mindset. It's like, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and forgive the people. I mean, we're talking about, I think Ken was talking about, you'll forgive the casino when they give him all the money they took. Yeah. It's a perspective, Once I finally realized that I'm responsible for everything that happens in my life. Stuff happens at school. I can blame the kids. I can blame the kids, but I tell the students it's my fault. It was my fault that this happened. Next time I'm going to go out and make sure that I'm going to take care of this, this, and this, so this doesn't happen again. I take responsibility for what happened. And once you start taking that kind of responsibility, you you start freeing yourself from these weights of being a victim. Okay. I think that victim mentality, is really poisonous for us. We can go and point the finger at everything around us, even the casino. That's the reason why I'm in a bad state. You can go out and point your finger at, your family who abused you, you know, and I think that's the reason why we need to go and forgive, right? Because those are just weights that hold us down. I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible. I'm responsible. I'm so responsible. I'm going to go out and let those things go. I'm going to forgive the people who hurt me. I'm going to go and forgive the organizations that hurt me, and I'm going to go and make better choices next time. I say thank you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to go and learn from a situation that's going to go and allow me to grow and become that much better, a better person. So, it's a perspective. Anyone can go out and think any way they want, but I'm trying to go out and find out what's the best way of thinking, that doesn't tie me down, that doesn't give me poisonous thoughts, that doesn't make me feel bad about myself, that doesn't make me feel like a victim, you know. We can go ahead and see things in a certain way that can help us, that can be beneficial. I see the good in this situation. I see the positive in this situation. You know, the situation can be challenging. Yes, it can be challenging, but I can go out and see this as an opportunity, like a key that'll open up a door for me to move in a better direction. So, yeah.
Okay. So basically, again, folks, we're coming down to the end of the wire on the podcast here. I want to thank those of you that have been with us. You guys have been through some torture tonight, man. I know tomorrow you're gonna feel a little bruised and sore. It's just gonna happen, because you endured some punishment here on this. No, I'm just joking. Hopefully, you're gonna experience some growth some good growth, right? Some good thoughts. At least those of you that were paying attention, because I know, folks, the truth is, I know it's not easy to pay attention. It's not. It's not easy to, we're, what is it? Our attention span. Our attention span is very limited. I don't know if you're aware of this. Maybe you are, or maybe I'm bringing it up to your attention. Because I know for me, I wasn't even aware, but now, I'm aware of it now. So, anyways, I do want to thank those of you that are here. And again, responsibility. We were at Jim's Corner tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed Jim's. We're always in Jim's Corner anyways. So we just give a little bit more. We give Jim a little bit more thought, more time to share, even though you guys didn't really challenge him. I mean, that's a good question, though, that they did ask Jim. Do you have a YouTube channel? That is a good question, though. Mm. Jim could tell you that. Do you have a YouTube channel? So Jim's Corner, before we get there, ownership, creatorship, choices. What's important? What's really important, folks, is gambling. Maybe gambling is important to you, right? So you're going to want to stay and watch this video that's coming up. By the way, we're going to be here again, once again, Wednesday. We've got some short videos during the week. We might have a 5-minute, a 6-pounder video, maybe once or twice during the week. We may do that. Most importantly, we're here for you. I'm here for you. Jim's here for you. We've got a complimentary strategy session that's available for you if you feel like you're struggling to the maximum and you would like to talk to me. I don't know. At this point, Jim isn't offering any of that. Maybe in the future, but if it's not too much for you to sit down with me and do a completely free strategy session on how, let me see, what are we gonna do? What would be the value of you sitting down with me on a strategy session? What would be the value? Well, we're not going to know. We're not going to know until we do it, right? And I'm always willing to work with quitters that are wanting to get away from the B.F.L. You know what the B.F.L. is. So I've got the video coming up. We're going to be back on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., Sunday, Lord willing. If you're here, if you feel connected to this mission, support the mission. You know what? $5, $10, whatever you can, $2, whatever you can do, support the mission. We've got a lot of work. We've got a lot of things that need to be done. And if anybody's interested in wanting to know what it is that we do here and how we do it, and you're donating financially and stuff like that, you're welcome to see exactly what it is where a lot of the money goes that most of my money goes. We get a few donations every month. It's not enough to cover everything. But if you want to know more about this operation since 2016, I'm willing to do that. We can strategy session. I'm willing to give you my very best. Hey, if you want to come out of that thing permanently, right? It's really about coming out permanently, not just stopping to gamble every once in a while. You're playing like Russian roulette. With me in this community, it's about permanent. It's about permanent. That's the best choice. Abstinence, if you will. That's the best, right? That's the best. That's the best overall in every area. And where did you buy your shirt from? I think I got my shirt from this one. I got my shirt from Amazon. Hey, Raymond says, what is B.F.L. and what is Tervention? GamblinTervention. Instead of gambling. Take the G off. GamblinTervention. It's just the two fancy words that I put together, more or less to say, you know what? Like intervention, right? Like you're blocking, you're getting in the way, you're supporting, right? Intervention. GamblinTervention. I kind of made that up. B.F.L. stands for big fat lie. B.F.L. Big fat lie. Gambling is a big fat lie. The house of cards is a big fat lie. It's all a big fat lie. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. You're just not going to win against it. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how long you've been doing it or how short you've been doing it. You're not going to win. You're not. And that's coming from somebody that played around for at least over 32 plus years. 32 plus years. So, all right. I've got the video coming up. Free aptitude test. Did you guys see that? There's a free aptitude test. If you want to take a free aptitude test, did I put it on there or maybe I didn't? Oh, I did. I think I did. Anyways, free aptitude test would be test. Go ahead, Jim. You've got some words in there. We're coming down to the close, folks, and then we've got call to action, C2A. Wrapping software.
Yeah, so I just encourage people to go ahead and choose to see the best in themselves, see the best in your thoughts, see the best in, others around you, I mean, focusing on that, see where's the good, and, if you keep doing that kind of stuff, you're going to go ahead and develop a better habit, better mindset. That'll take you away from all this toxicity in our minds that draws us back to the addictions, to casino. Casino is just a place where, it's an escape. It's a comfort zone, right? Because we have a lot of pain in our life. We have a lot of pain, and where's that pain coming from? I think it's coming from the way we think, it's coming from the way we think, the way we see the world, the way we see ourselves. So choose to, just choose to go ahead and take responsibility for your thoughts and say, I choose to go and see the best. I see the best in myself. What's the best way of thinking? What's the best attitude? What's the best mindset? Where should I focus my thoughts? Even in struggle, even in hardship, right? Where can we go and see the best? Focus on that. Put that attitude of gratitude in there. No one likes pain, but what can we get out of it, right? We can get something out of pain, right? There's something that we can get out of pain, right? Find it. Instead of running away from it, look into it and see what we can go and find that will benefit us.
All right, folks. What will benefit us? What will benefit you? What will benefit your family, your pocketbook, your wallet, your truck, your car, your home? All right, we're going to come to the end here. I've got the call to action video after this. Folks, again, support the mission. Listen, if you like what we're doing here, I believe we're number one. I believe Jim and I'm not sure if Cephas is going to be with us any longer. I don't know if you know who Cephas was. I don't think he's going to be with us any longer. Maybe in and out, possibly. So join us, support the mission. There's work that needs to be done. There's people that need to get paid for things so that we can continue to spread this mission and help you stay motivated for Monday morning, folks. Monday morning's coming. Rip them sheets off and kill that electronic rooster. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Let me see if I can rip this thing up, and we're going to call it quits. Wait a minute. By the way, thank you guys for your encouragement. You don't realize you motivate me. You do. All right. Let me see if I can get in here now. All right. Let's see if this guy's, is he talking?
You don't want to quit gambling. You don't want to stop going to the casino or betting, whatever it is that you're doing. You're doing it continuously and you don't really want to stop. Sometimes you think you want to stop, you think about it for a little bit, but then you go right back to it. So in reality, you really don't want to stop. And if you're losing, if you're depressed, if you're not feeling well, if you're not taking care of yourself, then that's an indicator that you need to get smart. Or you don't want to quit gambling. You don't want to
All right,
stop
folks.
going to the
That's all I have. We're going to see you next Sunday. Next Wednesday, we'll have another Jim's Corner, POI, points of interest. So again, we've got, let me see, it's 55 into the hour. Mark says, I like your picture, Santos. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. We thank Jim all the way from Tucson coming out and meeting us all the time here. Yes, Jim does have a YouTube channel. I believe it's tied to his business. And, whether Jim would take calls or coaching calls or anything like that, that's, I don't know, maybe in the future if it's meant to happen that way. All right, Mr. Keevan, Raymond Simmons says, bigger than the lie. Yes, B.F.L, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. So we got Raymond that was with us. Mark, thank you, Mark. Mark, Mr. Keevan, Laura, thank you for being safe. Ken, Mr. Keevan. Mr. Carnivore was with us for a little bit. Thank you for that. Barry Robb was with us. And who else? Was it Simmons there? Eric. And then there was a Kinduro. That was Raymond Searing. Yeah. All right, folks. I want to thank all of you guys that were with us tonight. And again, walk away with something. Until my next one, will I see you at the top? Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Santos. Have a great week. I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.